something deep inside you is shifting. It feels like a storm is brewing in your soul, an electric hum beneath your skin, a whisper in the back of your mind that refuses to be ignored. Is this just another phase, or is something ancient waking up inside you? Welcome to Kundalini Awakens, where we uncover the truths of Kundalini and more. For centuries, mystics, yogis, and seekers have spoken of an untamed force lying dormant at the base of your spine. A force so powerful, so life-altering, that when it awakens, nothing is ever the same again. But here's the thing: most people miss the signs. They brush them off, thinking they're just random feelings, weird coincidences, or even symptoms of stress. What if they aren't? What if the sudden rushes of energy, the eerie synchronicities, the strange physical sensations are all part of something bigger, something profound? By the end of this video, you'll know the unmistakable signs that your Kundalini is rising. One moment, you're fine, then out of nowhere, a surge of warmth spreads up your back, through your neck, into your head. It's unlike anything you felt before. Intense. Alive. Most people dismiss it. Just a random shiver, they say. Maybe I sat in a weird position too long. But deep down, this is different. For some, it comes in waves, subtle, like a gentle hum vibrating in their core. For others, it's a full-body explosion, a rush so powerful it feels like they're being lifted out of their own skin. So what's happening? This is Kundalini energy beginning to stir. An ancient force that's been coiled at the base of your spine since birth, waiting patiently for the right moment to rise. And when it does, your entire nervous system lights up. It's like plugging into a cosmic power source. The scientific world struggles to explain it. Some say it's just the nervous system firing off. Others call it a shift in bioelectric energy. It climbs, searching for a way through the body, through the chakras. And if you resist, if you fight it, that's when things get uncomfortable. Pressure in the head. Heat surges. A feeling like your body is stretching beyond itself. This is just the beginning. And if you felt this mysterious energy surge, buckle up. Because the deeper you go, the stranger things get. Vivid dreams and unusual sleep patterns. You wake up in the middle of the night again. It's 3 a.m. and your heart is racing. Not from fear, but from something else. Something deeper. The dream you just had wasn't a dream at all. It felt real. Too real. More like a message. A vision. A doorway into something you don't fully understand yet. Symbols and numbers that seem to follow you into the waking world. Some nights, you're flying. Other nights, you're watching yourself from the outside, like an observer in your own life. And then there are those nights where you wake up feeling changed, as if something was rewired inside you while you slept. This isn't coincidence. When Kundalini energy starts rising, your subconscious begins unlocking things it's kept hidden for years, sometimes even lifetimes. The deeper parts of your mind start communicating in ways they never have before. You start seeing beyond the ordinary, tapping into something vast, something ancient. And then there's the sleep itself, or rather, the lack of it. The 3 a.m. wake-ups become a pattern. Your body feels restless at night, but when you finally fall asleep, it's deeper than ever, like your soul is traveling somewhere beyond this world. And the exhaustion, some days, it hits you like a wave. Other days, you feel an unnatural surge of energy, like you've tapped into a force that doesn't even need rest. Because as your perception sharpens, reality itself begins to change. Heightened sensory perception, colors seem brighter. Sounds are sharper, almost too sharp. The world around you feels more alive, more present, as if you've been living half asleep this entire time. And suddenly, your senses have woken up. At first, it's subtle, You notice the way sunlight dances through the leaves differently. You hear whispers in the wind that were never there before. Music you've listened to 1,000 times now moves through you in a way that sends chills up your spine. Then it intensifies. Crowds become overwhelming. Bright lights feel invasive. A simple scent of flower, a spice, the earth after rain hits you so hard it triggers an emotion you can't even explain. This isn't just sensory overload. It's perception expansion. When Kundalini energy begins to rise, it doesn't just change what's inside you. It rewires how you experience the outside world. Your brain and nervous system are adjusting to a new frequency, one where the unseen becomes seen, and the unheard becomes heard. And then there's the electricity. Technology starts glitching around you, lights flicker, screens freeze, street lamps shut off as you walk past them. Your own body carries an unusual charge, like you're magnetized, pulling energy from the very air around you. Most people ignore these changes. They blame it on stress, fatigue, or just their imagination. But if you're experiencing this, it's not random. It's not in your head. It's proof that your energy field is shifting. Your Kundalini is rising, and reality is no longer what you thought it was. And the deeper this process goes, the more intense it becomes. Because as your senses heighten, so do your emotions. And that is where things get wild. Emotional roller coaster. One moment, you're at peace, calm, centered, as if you've tapped into some deep, ancient wisdom. The next, a tidal wave of emotions crashes over you, pulling you under. Memories you haven't thought about in years suddenly resurface. Fears you thought you conquered come creeping back. 1 second, you're filled with overwhelming love for the entire world. And the next, you feel like tearing it all down.
A quick message. This space has become something truly special for many of us. A community of people on a shared journey of spiritual growth, healing, and awakening. Your comments and stories inspire me every day, and it's clear there's so much more we can create together, especially since this path can feel lonely at times. That's why we've created a spiritual space on Patreon, a sanctuary for deeper connection, exclusive content, and meaningful conversations with others from this channel who share your journey. Together, we can build something uplifting, authentic, and spiritually powerful. If this resonates with you and you'd like to be part of something bigger, whatever you're going through, you'll find the link in the description or pinned in the comments. Your membership not only helps support the channel, but also helps grow this beautiful community. Let's create something amazing together.
Old wounds, unresolved trauma, suppressed pain, it all comes pouring out, demanding to be seen, to be felt, to be released. And if you resist, if you try to shove it back down, the energy forces it to the surface, even harder. That's why people going through a Kundalini awakening can feel like they're unraveling, breaking apart piece by piece. One moment, you're sobbing for no reason. The next, you're laughing uncontrollably. You feel everything more deeply, more intensely, like your emotional volume has been turned up to the max. But this isn't punishment. It's transformation. Your body, your mind, your very soul is cleansing itself. The heavy energy, the stagnant pain, the illusions you've carried for so long, they can't survive the intensity of Kundalini. They have to go. And once they do, a space opens inside you. Because that's where things get really interesting. The physical manifestations, your body is no longer yours. Or at least, it doesn't feel that way. Suddenly, it's doing things on its own, vibrating, pulsing, tingling in places you never noticed before. And then there's the shaking. Some people wake up in the middle of the night, their entire body trembling, their hands twitching, their legs jolting like they're plugged into an unseen power source. Others experience spontaneous mudras, hand gestures forming without conscious thought, or their body moving into unfamiliar yoga poses on its own. Doctors will call it muscle spasms. But deep down, you know better. Your nervous system is adjusting to an entirely new frequency. Your energy is being rewired. And your body, it's struggling to keep up. Temperature shifts hit at random. 1 minute you're freezing, the next you're burning up. A tightness in your forehead, a pulsating at the crown of your head, a feeling in your chest like your heart is expanding beyond your ribcage. If you've ever felt like your head might burst open or your spine is stretching beyond its limits, you're not imagining things. This is Kundalini reshaping you from the inside out. It's pushing through blockages, breaking down barriers, activating parts of your body that have been dormant your entire life. And if you resist, that's when discomfort turns to pain. But here's the secret: this energy isn't trying to harm you. It's trying to free you. It's trying to unlock something ancient, something powerful, something most people will never get close to touching. And once this transformation begins, you start to see the world differently. Not just feel it, see it. Because as Kundalini rises, your connection to the material world starts to crumble. The goals you spent years chasing, suddenly, they seem empty. The people around you are talking about careers, money, drama, and you're just watching, detached, wondering why any of it even matters. It's not depression. It's not apathy. It's something deeper. You're waking up. When Kundalini rises, the illusion of the material world starts to crack. The things society told you to care about, status, wealth, approval, start feeling like a giant distraction. Like a game you've been playing without realizing it's just a game. For some, this shift is terrifying. They feel like they're losing themselves, like they no longer fit in their old life. The job they once loved feels meaningless. The relationships they invested in suddenly seem shallow. Even their own identity, the personality they've built over years, feels like a costume that no longer fits. And here's where most people panic. Because society tells you that this loss of attachment, this questioning of everything is a problem. Something to be fixed. Something to pull yourself out of. Something real. A sense that there's something more than just this endless cycle of working, consuming, and chasing things that never truly satisfy. And once you start seeing the truth, you can't unsee it. That's when the real signs start showing up. The ones you can't ignore. The ones that feel like the universe itself is trying to get your attention. Because when Kundalini awakens, reality itself begins to speak to you. And if you're not paying attention, you're about to start. Synchronicities and divine guidance at first. It seems like a coincidence. You keep seeing the same number: 11, 11, 222, 333 on clocks, receipts, license plates. Then it happens again. And again. Until you can't deny it anymore. The universe is talking to you. But it's not just numbers. You think of someone you haven't spoken to in years, your phone buzzes, and it's them. This is Kundalini syncing you with something much bigger. Because once this energy awakens inside you, reality itself starts shifting. You begin moving in harmony with a force that has always been there. But now, you see it. You feel it. You'll meet people who seem like they were placed in your path on purpose. Teachers, guides, even strangers who, for some reason, just know what to say at the right time. Messages come through in dreams, in symbols, in feelings so strong they're impossible to ignore. And here's where most people hesitate. Because this level of alignment, it's unnerving. It makes you question everything you once believed about randomness, about coincidence, about life itself. But the truth is, this has always been happening. You just weren't tuned in enough to notice. Now you are. And the more you pay attention, the stronger it gets. The guidance becomes clearer. The path unfolds before you in ways you never could have planned. And if you follow it, if you trust it, you step into something far greater than you ever imagined. Until now. That's it. The shift has begun. The signs are no longer just theories or coincidences, they are happening.